We have built a world that feels free, but functions more like a mine, and we call it democracy. But what we really live in is a system of elegant extraction. Every comfort we enjoy, every convenience, every choice exists because somewhere, someone, or something is being mined, measured, and monetized. When you look at the Western economies today, especially countries like Australia, what stands out is how little we actually make. We dig, we lease, we speculate. Our GDP looks impressive, but what does it really measure? Throughput, not creation. We're not building a civilization, we're just maintaining a habit, the habit of extraction. We like to think of growth as a moral good, but growth for whom? Most Western economies today, from the United States all the way to Australia, run on rent. Financial engineering, real estate speculation, and raw material exports. We are not creating new value. We're just recycling wealth upwards. That is not real development. That's extraction in a tailored suit. The Australian Strategic Policy Institute Critical Technology Tracker 23 reveals something very much deeper. 20 years ago, the US led in 60 out of 64 strategic technologies. Today, just 7. China, meanwhile, leads in more than 50. That tells you who's building and who's extracting. China builds, the West rents. And when an extractive system starts to lose its edge, it does not reflect. It begins to retaliate. It begins to invent a phantom enemy. That is why the West always needs an adversary to progress. Fear is its last export. Fear funds budgets, it binds alliances, and keeps citizens compliant. This isn't new. Extraction has always been the empire's true language. The Spanish took silver, the Dutch took spices, the British took labor and land, and the United States, it took markets and mines. Each empire justified itself as a civilizing mission, but beneath it all was just mere control. Control of sea lanes, control of credit, control of narratives. When that control slips, the pattern repeats. Gunboats become sanctions, conquests become trade wars, and the goal stays the same. Keep the periphery producing and the center collecting. Today we are actually watching that same script playing out. It's sort of like a FOMO moment. Export bans, semiconductor controls, tariffs, none of these are all about security. They are just about fear of missing out. The OECD productivity reports show it very clear. Western innovation has stagnated for 2 decades. Meanwhile, Asia, led by China, South Korea, and others, has surged ahead in automation, energy storage, and rail infrastructure. Even in defense, the balance is shifting. China's latest parade showcased hypersonic platforms, stealth drones, and AI-driven logistics. Meanwhile, the West still celebrates systems built in the last century. The problem isn't that we are being outmatched. It's that we've grown too comfortable renting the past. Australia mirrors this perfectly. We export minerals, we import machines, and we call that balance. But it's not a partnership, it's more of a dependency. Our innovation deficit hides behind the profits of mining companies, while our sovereignty is traded for military projects we don't even control. We fear losing the privileges of an old order, so we rent our identity to preserve it. Yet the world has moved on. Civilization that build don't fear. Civilizations that extract do. When China says peace brings development, that isn't a slogan, it's an observation. You cannot trade when the seas are burning. You cannot build when your alliances are based on fear. The West now faces a simple choice: keep mining the planet and its people for profit, or rediscover what it means to build something enduring. Because no civilization survives by extracting forever. The mines will eventually run dry. The question is, will we build before that happens?